go through this interesting example that I've been reading this book called Mastery by Robert Greene, and he really walks through this example that opened my eyes a lot about business that I never would have thought of before I read the book. So he starts out by saying that forming a business is like building a table. This really resonated with me because I worked in wood shop and did a lot of work with my hands, such as building tables, coffee table, laser engraving. I did a bunch of that stuff in high school. I loved it. But anyways, I got a little sidetracked there. Sorry. But he talks about how business is like building a table. And this really resonated with me because building a table, you have the whole process already. The table, you need the legs. The legs are going to be 27 inches long by 4 inches wide. The tabletop, you're going to have 5 pieces that you're going to glue together. Those are going to make the tabletop. And there's all a set of processes. You start with the legs, do the tabletop, screw in the legs to the tabletop, stain it, and then you have that end goal that you plan for. He talks about how this could be interpreted as a business because just like a business, you could lay out where you want to be at the end, such as possibly like an exit to sell the business or a goal of revenue, employees, where you're conducting business. There's a lot of goals that you can have for the end goal for a business. But it's interesting how he talks about a table analogy to forming a business because there's so much in common that I never would have thought of, such as how I just explained that you can build the table just like you'd build a business. Those legs could be interpreted as employees in the business or process that you get put in place. Say you build a leg, that would be like hiring somebody in marketing or getting $1,000 in sales one month or growing to 10 clients in your lawn care business a week. There's a lot of things that you could kind of like put in place for this analogy to work. And there's a here's another thing I wrote down that I just noticed is that in making a table, if you just start cutting random pieces of wood at random lengths, you'll never get to the end goal, or it'll take a really long time of trial and error to get to that end goal. There's where it really hits home because you're never going to get to the end goal of the business if you have no idea where it's going to go. If you just start cutting pieces, like I said, cutting pieces of the table, you might get there eventually by trial and error, but it's going to take a long time you should be planning step by step on how the processes work to form the table. And then it'll be so much easier to get to that end goal. Just like a business, I think before reading this book, like I said, I wasn't much of a planner, but I think that this could be interpreted very well into forming a business and growing a business because you have the processes set in place, milestone, 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 just like the legs, tabletop, attaching them. You have those milestones set in place so you can really keep track of your progress and grow to that end goal that you want to be at.